Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I am Charlotte Kendall, serving as today's worship attendant. With me in today's service are our special guest, Pastor Jim Coffin, Worship Team Executive Melissa Baker, Director of Lifespan Religious Education, Judith Stein-Farrall, Director of Music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, accompanist Daniela Monzon-Viegas, and drummer Jacob Hike. Board President Sandy Pollock and chalice lighter helper Tavares. Let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background, working diligently to ensure that we come together this morning. So thank you. Thank you. Though originally scheduled to lead service this morning, Reverend Margalie could not be here today. Children will begin in the service and be sung out to activities after the time for all ages. We greet you this morning, old friends and new, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or your 1,000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. We have a few special announcements today. From Children's Religious Enrichment, just in case you did not see the emails I sent out the last few days, a heads up. Today's RE time is all about sprinklers and wading pools and water balloons. When the kids are sung out today, they will be joining up in the Enrichment Center for water fun and likely getting wet. From Aubrey and the Music Committee, the 2025-2026 Milk District Salon Concert Series promises an enriching and exciting lineup with 6 diverse concerts scheduled between September and March. We're thrilled to kick off the season with the powerful and inspiring duo Emma's Revolution. Don't miss it. Season tickets are now on sale. Members of the Music Committee will be available during coffee hour to answer questions, share details about the series, and help you reserve your seats. If you're attending in person, be sure to join us for refreshments and fellowship in Gore Hall after the service. That is right across the courtyard. And while there, stay for our town hall meeting at 12 p.m. in Gore Hall. The order of service can be accessed via the QR code up on the screen right now. Please note that a link to the weekly update is at the bottom of the order of service. Please click on it to view what's going on at 1U. Thanks again for being here in person and online today. Please join me in saying these opening words. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Our chalice lighter today is Aubrey's son, Tavares. Please listen and reflect as I read today's chalice lighting words by Adam Slate while Tavares lights the chalice. When the great mosaic of humanity is treated with respect and dignity, when no person is threatened by hunger or war, when we have extended hospitality to the stranger and tended to the sick, when equity and justice reign everywhere, then we shall all be free. We light this flame to hold that moment in our spirit and in our minds until we can make it real. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 123, Spirit of Life, in English and in Spanish. The words will be posted on the screen above.
Good morning, beautiful beings. We're so glad you're here. We gather in worship today exploring the theme, respect. In 2021, Rolling Stone magazine compiled a list of 500 best songs of all time and all types, ranking them. And what song was at the very top? Respect, recorded in 1967 by Aretha Franklin, written by Otis Redding. Respect became one of her biggest hits and her signature song, earning Franklin 2 Grammy Awards in 1968. In addition to Franklin's stellar rendition, the song's subject matter played a crucial role too. Why? Because all humans want to be respected. Today, our guest speaker, Pastor James Coffin, will refract respect, as he describes it, to find its various components in much the same way a prism refracts light into the colors of the rainbow. Pastor James Coffin has a professional career that spans 50 years and includes youth minister, religious magazine editor, congregational pastor, interfaith director, and writer. His work or study has led to prolonged sojourns in the United States, Mexico, England, and Australia, as well as extensive travel worldwide. His special areas of interest include interfaith relations, social justice, and religious liberty. He lives in Altamont Springs. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Orlando, Pastor Jim. We're so glad you're here. And now, I invite us into worship with respect. Sing along or dance as you are willing and able. Hit it, Fluffy. I'm going to now invite everybody that we've gotten our little Aretha workout to also take a moment to greet one another. We're so glad you're here. We're all energized now. I'm a little concerned about the time for all ages. Anyone that would like to take part, all the kids and young at heart, would like to take part in the time for all ages, come on up here. We're going to talk, we're going to do a little exercise, not that kind of exercise, but... and... So while we're all, my name's Judith Stein-Farrall. I'm the Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, in case there is anyone in the room who does not already know who I am. So I have a question for you. What is a boundary? Oh, okay. So, and just for...
And just for the record, the kids are going to embody this exercise, and anyone that's up here. But yeah, I expect y'all to shout out answers too. So a boundary is like a fence or a limit, right? That is set for us. Does that make sense? Does anybody have anything to add to that? Okay, good. If we're not okay with something, right, we can set a boundary about it. What kinds of things might we not be okay with? Yeah.
I'm not okay with having really loud sound.
Okay, that's a good one. Really loud sounds. Anybody else have one? Yeah, Jackson.
So I kind of don't like it when it gets dark outside, and I sometimes get scared.
Okay, so darkness. All right, I didn't even think about it. I was playing Sally, Jesse, Raphael. Do you mind yelling it out, and I'll repeat it. Heights. So Daniele will not be put at the top of very tall buildings. Okay. Someone's stepping too close. All right. So we're going to do a little exercise. So when we have a boundary, or we find out that something is a boundary for us, we need to let people know what it is. So we're going to do an exercise. So everybody stand up, and Miss Melissa's going to help. She's going to lay down, and they need to stay on the floor. She's going to lay down a bunch of hula hoops.
Kids.
All right. And I want everybody to stand around. Here, I'll take a couple of them. Stand around
orders, right?
A couple of hula hoops. Here. Woo. Let's put one over here. All right. So find one that speaks to you and share it if you need to, if we don't have enough out here. All right. I'm going to list something, and if it's okay with you, start outside of the hula hoops. Everybody start outside of the hula hoop. Stand outside of the hula hoop. Oh, there you go. Stand out. Okay. If it's okay with you, here, I've got another one right here. Sydney, come here. All right. All right. You two can share. Do you mind? Okay, thanks. If it's okay with you, step into the hula hoop. If it's not okay with you, step outside of the hula hoop. Being asked to play a game, is that okay with you? If it is, step into the hula hoop. If it is out there, okay to be asked to play a game, raise your hand. Okay. If you are dragged to play a game by somebody, dragged into the game, is that okay with you? No. So should you be in the hula hoop? Let's put the hula hoop down on the floor. Yep. So you should be outside of the hula hoop if it's not okay. If someone takes food off your plate without asking, is that okay with you?
No.
Okay, so should you be in the hula hoop or out of the hula hoop? Okay. If someone takes food off your plate, like a French fry off your plate, and asks you, is that okay? It doesn't have to be. Yeah. I see some people, it doesn't have to be okay. Yeah, you can disagree. What's another one? Oh, hugs. So do you like to be hugged? If it's okay for me to come up and hug you, stand inside the hula hoop. If you'd rather I didn't come up and hug you, step outside the hula hoop. So do you like hugs? Okay. If it's okay to get a high five, step inside the hula hoop. Okay. All right. All right. So here's my question. Did we all have the same opinions? No. How do we know that what somebody prefers? We need to ask. And what can we do if someone forgets to ask? We can tell them. Right. So it's okay to have a different set of boundaries, except for brushing your teeth. Everyone must brush their teeth. and things like that. Okay, that is our exercise on practicing respect for other people, okay? All right. Before we sing out today, I need to remind every parent, if your kid is coming out to RE this morning, you need to have signed them in. If you have not signed them in, we are about to sing the kids out, follow them out, and fill out the sign-in sheet for me. Otherwise, they can't join us in RE. I tell you what, if you would like to play with bring the hula hoops out to the playground with us, you may, but you need to hold it still, okay? All right, and I'll have more. All right, now we're going to sing our kids out. If you would make a loving arch for them to walk out, that would be great.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I kind of want to go over there and do Water Day. I don't know about you all. Good morning. I'm Sandy Pollock, President of the Board of Trustees. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. It is one of our spiritual values, which sustains the life and ministries of our church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it's a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful also for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Today's full collection will go to our Share the Plate partner this month, Planned Parenthood. The Alliance is matching donations up to $2,000. Here's its representative, Colin Brown, to tell us a little bit about their work. Oh, no. I didn't know if it was a person or a video. Welcome, Colin.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm just looking for one thing, and it's loading. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Colin. I use she or they pronouns. I'm with Planned Parenthood of Florida. So some very exciting news. We have just merged. We were originally two affiliates, Planned Parenthood of Southwest and Central Florida and Planned Parenthood of Northeast and North Florida. We are now one statewide affiliate, Planned Parenthood of Florida. We are growing bigger, better, bolder, and we've been doing that here in Central Florida for at least 20 years. We have been giving care in Florida for at least 20 years, with the Alliance helping us actually open our first healthcare center here in Central Florida. So just some care by the numbers, just to give you an idea of what our statewide affiliate looks like. We now have 17 health centers and one virtual health center across the state right now. We have served nearly 100,000 patients, more than 140,000 appointments delivered, 107,000 STI tests administered, 13,000 life-saving cancer screenings, and nearly 60,000 patients received contraceptive services in just the fiscal year 2024. And that's with our combined services. So as I said, we are growing. Many of you may know that we are facing a lot of attacks right now. And so we are doing everything we can. We've been fighting attacks for over 100 years. We're not going to stop fighting now. We are doing everything we can to continue to serve our patients with the well-rounded, comprehensive, wide variety of care that we administer at Planned Parenthood. And we're going to keep doing that. If you'd like to hear more about what we're fighting with the current administration right now, I'll be tabling at the coffee hour if you'd like to come talk to me. But really appreciate you, and thank you, the Alliance, for matching up to $2,000 donations to us. Really appreciate your support, especially in this time. And we're here to support you as well. So please come talk to me about our services, about what we can offer you as well. And would love to talk to you. But again, thank you, and thank you, 1U, for always hosting us and taking care of us. I see a few of our volunteers in the crowd. Thank you so much for always helping out Planned Parenthood. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. The offering will now be collected. Note that you can also give online. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or helped with, or have a joy that you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during worship. This is that moment in today's service. You can send an email to joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org during the week. If you are attending in person, you can also fill out a card at the registration table and offer it to an usher who will bring it to us to be shared during the service. And after the meditation, we will call anyone interested in participating in the candle lighting ritual to come forward. So always bring your joys and your sorrows as we come together. Come as you are. Your whole self is welcome in this sacred space we're creating together. From One You Today, today's flowers, this beautiful arrangement, is provided by Cindy Watson and Sandy Pollock. The colorful representation is surely a representation of the joy they feel in celebrating together 9 years of marriage and 19 years together. Happy anniversary. Jeannie Carter wishes to wish happy birthday and happy anniversary to everyone celebrating in August. And Mike Weaver and Ann Mayer are joyful and grateful for the 10-week travel they just experienced through the Canadian Maritime. They want us to know that, yes, the Canadians still love us. We hold the fears and sorrows of all affected by brutality from war, domestic shootings, threats, natural disasters, and other situations that are beyond their control. We hold our communities both near and far, and our country with care, and the world with our compassion, by acting for justice in all of the small and large ways that will move the arc of the universe toward justice. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today, and for those held close to our hearts, let's pray, let's celebrate, and send one another healing energy. Let us take a moment to breathe deeply. Close your eyes if you wish. Ground yourself in love as I share these words written by Lynn Cox. Spirit of life, ever adapting and renewing, we come together this morning with yearnings that do not match. We yearn for stability, for even one moment of feeling like we know what is going on, for the ability to predict and prepare for what is coming next. Yet we also yearn for change. We ache for a world that turns aside from racism, violence, dehumanization, and disregard for suffering. We pray for a change in the illness, grief, isolation, incarceration, and vulnerability of our loved ones. We reach for connections that will remind us that we are worthy as we are, and we reach for connections that will help us to become our best selves. Hold us in the heart of both and. Cradle us in the mystery. Cherish us in the eternal presence of love, and encourage us on the path of growth and development. As individuals and as a people, help us to become who we are called to be. Lead us to open pathways to deeper wisdom through reconciliation, self-respect, and mutual respect, compassion, owning and making amends for our mistakes. Source of wonder, move us to express and live in gratitude for the beauty of this world, the loving people in our lives, and this day of possibility. To this, we add the meditations of our hearts as we enter into a time of silence and candle lighting. And now, I invite you to participate in our candle lighting ritual. Charlotte is lighting a candle for all that remains unspoken, and another for our beloveds watching from home. Please rise if you wish to participate and move through these two center aisles. And please join us now.
Still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still will remain, singing, calming my fears, quenching my tears through
David Rico wrote, "What makes us human beings so uniquely wonderful in this puzzling universe is that we never give up on love. Against all odds, with no guarantee of being loved in return, out of the hate and hurt so often handed us, in the face of the sad suffering history has let us see, we go on loving. What deep respect we deserve for this capacity of ours to make love out of anything and to let it last." It is with delight and deep respect that I now welcome Pastor Jim Coffin to the pulpit. His generosity for being here when we needed him most was surely an act of love.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I've been here before, and it's a good place to come back to, and I thank you for that. In the year 2017, Seminole County decided that they would respond to the people who were complaining because there wasn't enough character education that took place within the county. And it's somewhat difficult because very often, our character education comes from our particular faith tradition. And our belief in separation of church and state says, well, we don't want to bring a particular faith tradition into the public school and advocate for that tradition. And the leaders there in Seminole County Public Schools said, well, we can do this in a way that is much more neutral. And so they set up a curriculum where they tried to have 10 character traits, I should say. And a character trait, by the way, just in case you want a definition of it, is the values that we hold and the behavior that we engage in when we think nobody is looking. Okay, if you can get it to that level, that's a character trait. And so they said, okay, what are the character traits that are universal that we all want? And they started off with respect. And then they went through a long list of others, and I won't take time to go through the others. But all of them they tried to come to in a way where they were teaching this value without teaching it from the perspective of a given faith tradition. It was recognized that this should be a universal value that we have, and so it shouldn't need to be tied to any religion, and so they didn't use religious illustrations in order to promote these values. I was very impressed with it when I found out about it well after the fact, long time after it was over. And of course, it's difficult to continue that kind of program because if you've done it through all the age groups, which they did from kindergarten right on through, they had curriculum where they emphasized these different characteristics, these character traits. And so after they did it for a year, it kind of fell by the wayside, and that was the unfortunate part of it because they really had a good idea. The whole idea of respect, I'm presenting that to you not as a harangue, not saying you aren't respectful or whatever, but those things that we already know, most of us need to have a little bit of a pep rally to say, let's make sure we continue to do these things that we already know. And if we're doing them well, let's see if we can do them even better. And so this is a personal thing where you look at yourself and say, can I show more respect? And what things might I be doing to show more respect? I went to when I thought about this, and this year I started off in January with respect in my congregation. And that's what I spoke on. And these days it's easy because you go to the internet and artificial intelligence gives you all the answers. And so I'm going to start off with some artificial intelligence for you. And here's some of the things that they had to say about respect. And here are some of the definitions they give. Respect is active listening. Give the speaker your full attention. Don't interrupt. And respond thoughtfully when you do respond. Respect yourself. Consider yourself a priority, and others will appreciate you and your needs. And I used to have to work at myself with this a little bit, because people would say, could you do such and such on such and such a day? And it was really the day I wanted to have off. And it was really hard for me to say, no, I have a day off. And finally learned, this is back in the days of the little notebook, you know, that you kept in your pocket or kept in your purse. I would have crossed out all the days that I wanted off. And they'd say, could you do such and such for us? And I said, let me check my schedule. Because if I say I have a day off, they'd say, well, couldn't you just fudge this one time? And so I'd pull out my book and I'd look at it and I'd say, you know, I don't have a free period that whole day. It's all booked already. Okay, that's kind of what respect for yourself is. And try it. It does actually work. This keeps wanting to become detached from me. So I'm going to acknowledge that it's a losing battle, and I'm going to put it here. Treat others nicely. Use kind or polite words even when you're upset. Give recognition. Acknowledge and appreciate others' contributions. Respect in the workplace. Value the qualities and skills of your co-workers and employees. Respecting boundaries. Have you ever heard that before? Respecting boundaries. Refrain from intrusive or inappropriate questions and be mindful of personal space. Address people by name. Use a person's preferred name. And be careful with nicknames. Make sure that that's a nickname that the person really likes and doesn't just tolerate. I know when I was going to high school, there was a young man who had quite buck teeth, and they stood out quite a bit, and of course Bugs Bunny's teeth stood out, and so they called him Bugs, and that was the nickname. And I think most of us assumed that he was okay with that, but actually his sister once told me, no, he wasn't as okay with it as you might think. You know, to be faced with a nickname like that. Accept differences, and if you have to disagree, at least disagree in a kind manner and with kind words. And share resources. Only take what you really need, because you respect the needs of others. Well, now, those are just a few things that are very universal, and even artificial intelligence recognizes that those things should be done and considered. Now, one of the reasons I took this topic is I did 2 word searches on stuff that I'd written or presented or whatever it might be, and one of the word searches was on respect. The other was on Unitarian Universalists. And so in this sermon that I presented back in January, I quoted from Unitarian Universalists because I'm actually quite taken by your 7 principles. I've never learned anybody else's belief structure by heart, but I've committed this to memory because I found it so good. And so a pat on the back here, you know, a little bit of a kudos to you. And your principle number 1 is, you should know it, I shouldn't have to tell you, but just in case, you know, just in case, it is the worth and dignity of every person. The worth and dignity of every person. And what might be a word that we could use for that? Respect. Respect. Recognizing the worth and dignity. And there are a lot of people who don't understand the worth and dignity of everyone. They have their little compartmentalized view of life, and some people are worthy of respect and some people aren't worthy of respect, and it's pretty subjective, and it's usually not very kind. But Unitarian Universalists recognize that the worth and dignity of every person is important. That's significant. I like what the Hindus do. They have this greeting, Namaste. And I happen to walk on the Seminole Wekiva Trail almost every day, and there are quite a few Indian Americans here in this country, in this region, with all the technology and all the science things. And interestingly, I serve on the board of Advent Health, and the most common doctor's name of those who are associated with Advent Health is Patel. because there are that many Indians here. And so I meet these Indians, these Hindus, and we put our hands together and we bow our heads and we say namaste. And it's the divinity in me bows to the divinity in you. Now, you may not be a believer in divinity, but one thing that this does is it shows that every person is not just an ordinary run-of-the-mill person. Every person is filled with, endowed with something that is truly significant. And so the Hindus have this greeting about the divinity in me bowing to the divinity in you. And so then I go on and looking through the notes that I had for my sermon that I preached in my church on respect, I come once again to the Unitarian Universalists, so you're quoted people, you know. And this was the seventh one. And it actually uses the word respect. But we're no longer talking about just people. We're talking about the respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. And so I look at that, and so this says I'm going to have respect for nature around me. I'm going to have respect for those who come after me. I'm going to have respect for all the energies that people have expended to try to make the world a better place. It's a much bigger and more expansive view of respect. Well, so then, just yesterday, I got to thinking, well, you know, with colors, we see light, but if we have a prism, we can break it down. We can break it down and see the different things, the different components of it. And I thought, well, maybe we could do that same kind of thing with respect. And with the colors, I remember back in my high school physics class, they talked about, well, we had to memorize Roy G. Biv. Remember Roy G. Biv? Red, orange, yellow, you know, blue. Go right on through Roy G. Biv. Well, what do we have that we could do with respect that would be much the same way? Now, I only quoted before when I was preaching to my own congregation about this, I only used your first principle and your last principle. Then I got to thinking about it, okay, if I'm going to look for principles and I'm going to break it down, look at this, like Roy G. Biv. Respect. What's respect? The inherent worth and dignity of every person. But number two, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. Number three, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. Do these all come under the label of respect? Absolutely. A free and responsible search for truth and meaning. In other words, you are so important and you are so intellectually capable that I'm not going to try to dictate to you, and you shouldn't try to dictate to me because of the respect that we hold the other person in. The right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. Your conscientious conviction may not be the same as my conscientious conviction. But if I respect you, I will respect your conviction as well. Go on, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. I want other people to have the same kind of liberties that I have because other people are important and I respect them. And then we come down to respect for the interdependent web of all existence, which means I'm going to treat my dog in a different way because I have a respect for that which is around me, nature around me. For all of creation, I have a respect for that, which means I'm going to relate to it in a particular way. And so I decided, with the colors of the rainbow, we've got 7 Roy G. Biv. And when it comes to respect, we've got 7 principles that are what respect is all about. So I commend you You know, here I've been out searching for the answers, and it was right there already. You know, you'd already done my homework for me. You know, so that's good. Thank you so much. I came across a little poem, and I'm winding down here now. Came across a little poem that was posted online by a British writer, and this is very simple. It's very ordinary. It's not fancy poetry, but I think it has a good message. If we cannot respect others, how can we expect others to respect us? If we cannot respect someone else's belief, how can we expect them to respect ours? If we cannot respect another's race, how can we expect that race to respect us? If we cannot respect others, how can we expect respect in return? Everyone expects respect, no matter who they are. And the only way they gain it is to start treating everyone as a friend, a brother, a sister, a part of our extended family, no matter what color or creed they are. Only then will we start to get the respect that we dearly love. It's very simple. It's very uncomplicated. And yet it's so infrequently implemented to the degree that it can and should be. So I would like to encourage you to go back and read those 7 principles again that you have and that you've put together and that are so effective and so meaningful. And not only do you expect respect, but you know you must give respect if you're going to get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom with us today, Pastor Jim. We are grateful. Please rise and body your spirit to sing our closing hymn, Here We Have Gathered, number 360. Emily Richards. Our work here this morning is at an end, and our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love, the work of trusting that we are on the right path, The work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us. The work of engaging in that which makes us whole. The work of deeper understanding and commitment. The work of letting go of that which does not serve us. The work of radical inclusion, the work of collective liberation, the work of this beloved community. A beloved community of which we are all part. A place where we are welcomed, respected, valued, cherished. A place where we belong. Go in peace. Amen, and blessed be. Once more, we obviously want to have the opportunity to chat and snack with you over in Gore Hall, but we also hope you'll stay for our town hall meeting at noon. And Charlotte is going to guide our closing.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish this chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.